Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 44 of the CWA The Royal Draft Series here on the channel. As it's the Golem Show for Dungeon Wars, which that's going to be such a fun show. The plans I have for that's I'm really excited for. As the two Dungeon Wars matches, obviously the 3v3v3, which is probably going to be the main event with the Bayface team, Brian Danson, Brody Lee, Nami Chimarufuji, taking on Blood Generation of Park. Rajik Shang, and then we'll find out who's the third man here tonight on this TV, and taking on the Dark Order team, Brock Lesnar, Tommy End, and Brody King. So that's going to be a pretty fun matchup. And then the 4v4, which we don't know who's going to replace Katsuhiko Nakajima, as he is hurt and he will not be at that show. So we're going to find out on Dungeon Wars who's going to be the fourth man for that No Mercy team. Is there going to be someone joining No Mercy, or is it going to be someone who has had history with the Young Bucks and Golden Lovers? We shall see. Should be very exciting to see how that all plays out. As now we'll go into the actual go home show, which some fun stuff there. Obviously, we find out who's going to be in the 3v3v3 Dungeon Wars match. We have Brock Lesnar. It's going to be in the main event. That's fun. He's been in, I think, 2 or 3 of our main events so far. Hasn't really been, obviously, we want to keep him special and whatnot. But he's taking on Sheamus, which that sounds like an awesome match on paper. We'll see how it goes. But without further ado, let's run the goddamn show. Let's see what this show's all about. As our first of 2 pre-show matches, Team DK versus Suju Gun. What's left of Suju Gun? That's Takashi Suju had to retire, and he is now a road agent for us. But TMDK beating Suju Gun. This match happened way back in April, and on a pre-show as well. Just going to give Jonah Rock the win there. As Jonah Rock with 47, 45 for Mikey Nichols, 40 for Shane Hayes, 39 for Suwama, 36 for Shinjiro Irie. Oh, no, 41 for Juji Shikawa. Fuck yeah. So 54. This match was also on a Heart Attack show, funny enough. It's Hiromu Takahashi taking on Sexy Eddie. As Hiromu Takahashi getting the one with the time bomb. Genius stuff. That got a 54. As Hiromu's the goddamn man. We just ran out of stuff for TV for him. For this week as our Stampede TV intro. We have Bret Hart in his office making an announcement as far as regarding Katsuhiko Nakajima. Katsuhiko Nakajima's injury is going to take him out of action for the 4v4 Dungeon Wars matchup. So, he was injured in that tag match in the pre-show, as obviously he probably wouldn't announce that. Just at a live event, he would probably say something like that. As that he will not be able to compete, and he's informed Kenta about this, and he's tasked with finding a replacement for No Mercy, who, if they don't find a replacement, they will have no choice but to go 4 against 3 in Dungeon Wars, which obviously that would be a terrible, fucking situation for them. I can't believe I got a 34. That's very bad. Oof. I was expecting that to go a lot better, as this tag match to open up the show, the actual match to open up the show, the Heartbreakers of Candice LeRae and Natalya taking on Taya and Toni Storm, as Candice beats Toni Storm with the Heartbreaker. There was some miscommunication from the heels of Toni Storm and Taya Valkyrie. They just could not really figure out what they wanted to do and how it was a whole goddamn mess. Toni Storm with a 41, 48 for Taya, 57 for Natalya. She's really, God bless her, man. She's so fucking awesome, and she's been awesome for a long time. In the CWA, I wish she could have Canadian Women's title run, like a big one, but there's just been talented people on the roster, and more talented people, sadly, on the roster instead of her. But Candice with a 52 as well. As then afterwards, the heels get into it. Taya and Tony, Paige is trying to get in between them, but then they turn and just try to beat up on Taya, Tony and Paige, really laying the boots to her, laying her out high and dry after the match. As Pac is on commentary for this match, Shima versus Naruki Doi, the winner, of course, being the third person added to the Blood Generation matches. Shima winning with the Schween, 10-23, a 60 for Shima, 54 for Naruki Doi, of course. They're fucking awesome, so that makes sense there. Oh my god, so this was just a little cut back to backstage where No Mercy are plotting on backstage in the locker room, just thinking, like, who should they have the fourth man. It's one of those where Christian and Tony Schiavone on commentary really talking, like, oh, and there's No Mercy, they're still got to figure out who's going to be their fourth man. Any ideas? So it's going to be type of thing over just a nice little minute, if that, it's just a minute segment before we, then we cut the commercial type of thing. Come back, as it's the father James Mitchell, as he is backstage with Brock Lesnar, who's warming up behind him. It says that, my Deacon of Destruction is going to be bringing the pain come Dungeon Wars. As there are 6 bodies that my Beast Incarnate can lay waste of. He can just worry about inflicting pain, hearing bones break, seeing blood run down faces. This is where he can be at home. This is where he is at his most zen-like motion for Brock Lesnar. This is what makes him wake up in the morning. This is what helps him go to sleep, knowing that he's going to be inflicting pain and suffering to those 6 men. And you better be ready. Brock Lesnar is ready to inflict pain. He's going to show you all what you all have in store for come Dungeon Wars against Sheamus tonight. So, main event, Sheamus and Brock, that somehow gets a 50. Oof. Was expecting a little bit more. Actually, a lot more. That's Brock and Sheamus, but Brock with a 56, 52 for Sheamus. Gets the Kimura lock win in 13 minutes. It's not good at all. I got a 50. And then to end up the show, at least this was a good segment. As Bret Hart ran at Bret's office, and he calls in Kevin Steen, The Miz, John Morrison, Sami Zayn. Tells them, gentlemen, I'm sure you're wondering what's in store for you 4 come Dungeon Wars. And you 4 will be competing at the show. Don't worry about it. And they just kind of gasping and going, yes, pay-per-view fucking bonus check. Here we go. And he goes, well, it's not going to be, 2v2. Now, this is going to be you all 4 going to be competing against each other in a fatal 4-way match. And the winner will have a prize. That I cannot disclose at this time, but the winner will know in my office after their match at Dungeon Wars. There is a big opportunity you all 4 have. That's time to see who's going to seize it come Dungeon Wars. It's going to be you, Kevin. It's going to be you, Miz. It's going to be you, Morrison. Sami Zayn is going to be you. Y'all better bring your A game, because this is a big prize. So that's all he's saying, is being very, very shady. Well, I wouldn't say shady about it. He's just being, very secretive on what this prize is. Back when, think of, like, Lucha Underground, when they're quite a unique opportunity type of scenario for these 4 men. Whoever wins that Fatal 4-Way, so that's another great match added to the card, I think. I think that's going to deliver in a big way. So let's see how the show did. Yep, 56. Those angles sucked, all of them, but the Bret Hart in the office. And then, also, too, the Father James Mitchell promo, 49, wasn't terrible. Was not terrible at all, but a 34 for the Nakajima. I think what I should have just done is have Bret have entertainment, and that's it. That's probably what I should have done, but that's no big deal. And we could have gained Pop in the British regions and Oceania, but we can't because of TV contracts, so that's fine. And there we go. The go-home show's in the books, and we have an extra match added to the card. Now, it looks like maybe even 2 with Tony Storm and Taya. That might also be on the card to kind of see where that story's going. So that should be exciting stuff. I mean, we got the 2 Dungeon Wars matches. We got now the Fatal 4-Way match. It's going to be nuts, because it's going to be one of the more unique cards that we're going to have, just from the fact of it's not going to be like the common title matches on the card. There's no titles on the line. Well, there is one title match on the line. There is the women's title. Other than that, it's all going to be, the Dungeon Wars matches, that Fatal 4-Way. There's so much shit to go through it. It should be exciting, as looks like we have lost our NTVG Plus fucking CWA Stampede. So that's fun. How exciting. Yeah. Yep. So, yeah, we'll catch you guys for Dungeon Wars. Take care, everyone.